Hello friends and welcome back. I'm Enterprise Architecture and we are back here playing more modded Vintagestory. Today we need to make a little bit more progress on our library. I'm aiming to get some roofing done, some shingles put into place, and ideally we'll also get some lighting set up. So with no further ado, let's dive right in. So at this point we've made a lot of progress on our library. We have our bookshelves down here on this side. The other side I do not have filled with bookshelves yet. I haven't figured out what we're going to do with that yet. But we do have this nice little area to overlook the courtyard in the middle and of course the inside of the various library areas here. So this is all working pretty well. I've got the causeway set up here to connect all the pieces, and of course this is filled with monsters for whatever reason. That has also been an ongoing problem. The main reason we're filled with monsters here is of course that nothing here is a room. And of course, we have no roofs on anything. So I figured today we would start by putting roofs on things, starting to fill in the windows and getting the place lit up. So the first crafts we are going to make today is going to be some shingles for our roof. Now we did have a bunch of fired cream shingles here. Looks like we've got 39 and 512. Do we have any more than that? That might be it for now, but we should be able to make more if we need. Let's go ahead and grab all of those up real quick. Just like that, a few more. There we go. I assume we're going to use most of these, and what we really want to do is use these for the one roof variant right here. This is what we want to do. So there should be a recipe here if we wait. There we go. That's the one. We're going to pin that. This will let us make a one roof clay shingle. And the really great part about the one roof stuff is that it does allow us to have different heights. It allows us to do a variety of different things that'll make our lives a lot easier while we're trying to set this up. Now, my plan here is that we're going to have several different sections. We're going to have this section here, which will be these rooms, and we're just going to have standard roofs on these. Over on this side, I put down these debarked oak logs so you can kind of see this is where we are going to put our windmills. We're going to do vertical windmills just like the one we have over there. That's going to go on each of these posts. That's going to supply power to the rest of this facility. Both the library for lighting, and with any luck, it'll be enough that we can use it on our main base as well. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So we'll have this roof probably will be the highest peak. That'll be a low peaked roof there. And those individual pillars will plop down beneath that. And then we're going to have an even lower roof on this section that's just going to go slanting up to here. And then I haven't figured out what we're going to do to fill in the middle here. I'm still thinking about that. But I was thinking what would be really nice is a peaked skylight right down the middle right here. So that'll let in a lot of light into, this area here. So we'll be able to get into this actual library area. We'll have some nice natural lights. So these are all at the normal 1:1 ratio peaks. But if we come out just one more block here, what we can do is actually do another one right on the front of this. And this is the benefit of the one roof. It's going to give us a lower sloped roof, which I think will look really good here. So let's break this block. That's going to go downstairs somewhere. And we will continue this all the way around just like this. And we should be able to do that from the edge of on this roof. Can I do this again? Just need to stand out of the way? Yeah, we can. All right, so I'm doing these as 2-to-1 roofs here. So I've done the first row all the way around except for that back side because I haven't figured out how that's going to merge yet. And I'm then working my way up the build here. All right, I think that's starting to look pretty good. Those low peaked roofs there that just kind of sit out a little bit but don't look overly dramatic like the ones we have everywhere else. I think that actually works really well for the idea of a library rather than being so imposing. And I don't want this to be like super tall either. I will probably swap out that one block right there and put a window or something right there because that just looks a little bit janky. So the next section I want to work on is going to be the awning that's sticking out over here over top of this little area that's going to look down, this little balcony that I built. Now I do need to come out a little further this direction, which I can't do from here. And it looks like I'm just about out of building blocks. So we will need to come maybe like right out over here. And then we should be able to put this on right on the front of that because we do want that overhang with those shingles. Go ahead and break this. We'll come back for that in a little bit. And we do even actually want to go back one more block than this. So let's go ahead and put it right onto that there. That gives us this nice dramatic, hey, what are you doing? That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the nice drama that I want, is a weird dude climbing up my edge of my building. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. So we're not going to worry about that guy for now, but we are going to go ahead and get these in place. Again, this low roof, just a gentle slope, and that'll kind of make this feel nice and breezy, which is what we're really going for here. All right, so that section is now done. We are about out of shingles, so we need to make up some more fire cream shingles. So as some of you might recall from previous episodes, to make these fire cream shingles, we need to first get ourselves some blue-gray clay. Now, we have not found blue-gray clay in the entire playthrough at this point. I'm, almost 200 hours into this, and yeah, no luck. So we instead are going to make it using a recipe that's custom, using powdered shale and water. So we take our powdered shale, we mix it with water, and that will give us our blue-gray clay. To do that, we need to go mine up some shale. I have only a little bit left here, so we need to get digging. That means we are going to have to teleport over to a place that we know that there is some shale. That's going to be all the way down here in this shale biome that I found earlier. This is the one, right? All right, so in this biome, there are lots of lovely mountains here. These will be perfect for us because we could just start digging through them. Unfortunately, a lot of these do have granite underneath. And of course, a lot of gravel that will continue to be our enemy over and over again and beat us up a little bit. So that's gonna be a problem for us. So let's just see if we can't dig out a little bit more of this rock without dying too horribly. Oh, and there's some tin. Okay, lovely. Okay, back at our base, we are ready to use our crusher to start making up our powdered shale. So first things first, I think we have to crush it. So let's throw this in here, and that should, yeah, that gives us our crushed shale. And then we're gonna have to put it through a second round to be able to get the powdered shale. Now, if I remember correctly, the crusher is great, but it's still relatively slow. We might wanna go ahead over here and throw this in the pulverizer just to get a second batch going. That'll go in there. We can just turn this on. It's awfully loud, but it should get us our powdered shale, our crushed shale relatively quickly. Yeah, this goes a little faster than the crusher. So we're gonna let that roll. Let's just go ahead and put, I guess, another stack in here. And that will go at the same time as this one, which is slowly crushing its way through. And hopefully when all this is done, we will be ready to make our clay. So let's go ahead and actually take some of this powdered shale, and I can show you exactly what the clay making process will look like here. We can come through our base all the way down here. Don't grab the torch, into our basement facility. And down here, we have our little well. This is usually where I'm doing a lot of my crafting. So if I take this bucket of water and I take my powdered shale, then I can get 32 pieces there, or 320, blue-gray clay. So let's do one more of those, just like this. Powdered shale goes in here, and it looks like we still have 4 liters of water left. There's a whole bunch of our blue-gray clay. Now our blue-gray clay we need to form into these individual shingles. So let's go ahead and put this down here. We're gonna look for our shingles. This is the one we want. We do have the mods that we can auto-complete in. So let's go to auto-complete. There we go, one click and we're done. It occurs to me that we have been making these shingles by hand like a peasant, and we don't need to do that anymore, right? We have these machines like the Vintage Engineering CNC machine. This is an automatic clay crafter, so we should just make one of these, and this should make our life way easier. And I believe we have most everything that we're gonna need to make it, so really we have no excuse not to. Now, this does need a variety of different ingredients here, which we do not currently have. One thing we're going to need to make is a couple of brass gears. That means we need a couple of brass plates. How are we looking on brass? There's one brass plate for us. We're going to grab up our brass screws too. We also need to make ourselves a machine block here. It's been a while since we've had to make a machine block. Let's see here. This is going to be iron machine plates. Each of those is made with an iron plate and iron screws. So do we have screws? We have some iron screws left. Do we have our iron plates left? Well, we have some iron ingots, and 4 should be enough for that. But we also need to make an LV motor. Let's go ahead and grab up the LV motor as well. And this one is a little bit more complicated, so we just need to grab that recipe. This is going to need tin bronze plates and tin bronze rods. So let's see here. Tin bronze. We already have the rods. but we don't have any other tin bronze on hand, and I don't think we even have any tin bronze ingots handy, so we might need to go ahead and alloy it. All right, there we go. As general rule, you just do 10 parts of copper, 1 part of tin, and you will eventually get tin bronze out the other end. Ah, right, we have to put coal in it, of course. All right, there are our tin bronze ingots. Let's go ahead and get another round of these going. We need to make up at least 2 plates of those. So I think this is still hot enough that we can actually work with it in our plate mold automatically. So let's turn this on. Workable 887. Yeah, 3000 degrees. I think this will work. Yeah, no problem. So let's get our 2 plates going there. There's 1 white hot plate. And here comes the second one. There we go. Now what we need to do is actually swap out our plate mold for our gear mold. Here's our gear mold. Put this in here. And now we need to use our brass plates. So let's get these heated up. Turn back on the forge. Brass plate goes in. This needs to be 860. So we're already at 860. No problem there. It's going to put our brass plate in here. This is going to make 1 of the brass gears. This one is now 1300. We'll turn that off and we will make another brass gear. Oh, and we get brass bits back. That is wonderful. We can use those for at least a few different things. Okay, so gears are done and cooked. We'll turn that off. Now we should be able to make pretty much everything here. Let's see, we've got our iron plates. Let's turn those into our machine block first. So we need to put these in the middle here. We are going to need iron screws surrounding that. That's going to make 4 of those. And then I think it's something like this. Yeah, there's our machine block. We are almost out of iron screws. We will need to use our extruder to make more of those. Okay, machine block is done. Do we have any copper wire left? I hope we do. Let's see, this is from the other mod. Yeah, I don't see any wire. There we go, that'll work. LV wire, perfect. Okay, so let's grab that. Let's actually grab all of it that we have here. Perfect. And we will need to make up some of these braided wire cables. Now, if I remember correctly, the pattern is something like this. There we go. You need 2 of those. We're gonna need the regular LV wire to be able to make up this other piece here. Let's grab up our wire tools while we're at it, and this is what we need to make next. So let's put that there. We are going to put our, oh, we can't do that yet, right? Our tin bronze plates we need to turn into machine plates. Same thing that we did before. We're just going to take our brass screws and surround that because brass works fine for this and is a cheap alternative to the other things we have available. Now we can assemble it. Put the plates there. Put the rod there. We're going to put 2 bits of wire here. We need our tongs. Where are our tongs? Show me those tongs. Let's put this there, and there is our LV motor. Great. So LV motor is now done. Tongs are done. Don't need those. Let's see here. And now we should be able to assemble all of these pieces. We'll put those there. This here. We need our screws around it like that. And then our braided wire, that makes our CNC. And now we have to do is find a good place to put it and then wire it up. I think we're going to put it here. And I think we should be able to wire it up by clicking on that little notch and then that thing. So now we have a CNC. We have to teach it a program first. I've never actually used this machine. This is my first time using it. Let's see if we can figure it out. I believe if we put clay there, yeah, it knows that we can put this blue-gray clay there, and that should make our shingles for us. If I put that in that slot, it should remember that. So let's just hang out for a second and wait for that to complete. All right, so I think that's doing a decent number at a time here. Let's see, how many is it actually doing at a time? We're at 90, so just need to wait a second here, and it should use up 5 blue-gray clay. And it's making 12 at a time. Okay, great. So it is basically exactly the same recipe that we use when we're doing it manually. All right, while the clay forming is still doing its thing, let's get started on making up the windmill assemblies that we are going to need to be able to generate the power for our other facility in those spots that I showed you. Now, we are not going to be making a boatload here necessarily of these. The good news is we have at least one engine already. Looks like 3 engines already. So we should be able to make multiple generators here. And at some point, I do want to have all of those in that row, but I really think that I only have enough sail assembly material here for one set of sails. So it's going to be very, very slow at this point. So it's not really worth it to do more than one because we won't be able to outfit it properly anyway. So let's get started on that. So first things first, we can just convert an engine into a generator. That's easy for us to do. From this, we should be able to make our upgraded generator. There we go, the upgraded generator recipe. And for that, we are going to need one of these 2 recipes. I think we'll go with the one that requires any metal plate and also copper wires, and then a couple of machine parts. I think we have all of that here. Yeah, so there's our metal parts. Let's go ahead and grab up a bunch of those. Let's see about our wire. We want, is that the right one? LV? I think that's right. We'll go ahead and grab up those real fast here. And yeah, that is the right one there. This is maybe, oh, this is the one that we were using because I already picked up all of the lights that we had downstairs. Because we are not going to use those anymore. So we have these electric lamps here that we can put anywhere that we want to generate our light for us. So I pulled those out of the basement where we had them. It's perfectly fine to just use the normal lanterns down there. I want this place to look fancy. I want it to look like there is technology and we can afford technology and all of that good stuff here. So that's why we're going to bring these into play. So we need the 128V cables. So yeah, this is LV wire, and that's the wrong type of wire. And I believe, can we not convert this? I thought I had fixed the recipe so that we could convert this. It doesn't look like we can. So we are going to have to make up more LV wire here. Oh, no, there is the cables. There's 128V and 32V. We'll grab up those, no problem. Okay, wonderful. So that's all that we really need here. Aside from, it looks like a steel plate. So we don't have any steel plates made. Let's go ahead and grab up these steel ingots real fast here. We're going to swap these out for one of the things we're not using, and we will make up our steel plate. I'm also seeing that up here, we are going to need another steel plate to upgrade to the high performance generator. So we're going to make up 2 of these while we're doing. All right, and now we have our zinc plate as well. That's all of these. We can turn those off. We should, I believe, have most of the ingredients we need here now. The only thing we might be missing is silver cable. Do we have silver cable? Oh, we do have silver cable. Okay, that's a surprise. I didn't realize we already had that on us. Okay, so let's assemble this real quick. All right, so there's all of our ingredients for the upgraded generator. To get from the upgraded generator to the high performance generator, which is what we need to get to the 128 volt, we need to put our upgraded generator here. Let's grab up our silver cable there. We are going to need our steel plate here. I'm putting this all in the wrong spot. The zinc plate there and our soldering iron there. There is one high performance generator. Wonderful. Okay, so that's the first piece of the puzzle. The next thing we definitely want to make here is going to be a battery, and we want a 128 volt battery. So let's go ahead and add this real quick to our recipes. That means we need to close out some of these other things that we are already finished with. There we go. This means we also need to make up a 32 volt battery. I don't think there's another recipe outside of that. All right, I think we have everything that we need now. So let's grab up our copper cables here, our boards. We are going to need a saw. There we go. Tin bronze saw will do. Hammer goes here, and then each of our plates in turn, zinc and then iron. Zinc and iron. Wonderful. And that'll make up 4 batteries for us. And then all we need to do is assemble these with a bunch of coal. So let's see here real quick. Do we have some coal or charcoal or something? Yeah, we have lots of things. We have black coal, we have coke. Let's just use this black coal that we have laying right here. I think that'll be more than enough if we split it. And then we will need to put our 4 generators around here, or excuse me, 4 batteries. There is a 128 volt battery. That is what we like to see. Wonderful. Okay. So the battery will store our power so that we can use it during daytime and nighttime. The high performance generator will actually generate our power for us. We will be using these 128 volt cables to be able to move the power between these 2 items. And then the only thing that's remaining here is we will then use our lamps to light everything up. We're going to need to make a lot more lamps later. We're not going to worry about that right now. All right, so let's make up these last few pieces that we are going to need now. Let's go on to the vertical axis windmill plate thingamabobber. We're going to need a log for this. I know we've got some sort of a log in here. Let's use pine. We've got ample amounts of pine. We'll put that there. We need to have some flax oil. So I think we have a bucket of flax oil. This goes here. Resin should be no problem. We solved our resin problem a long time ago with our huge resin forest that we built. We have a hammer, we have a chisel, and then all we need is 2 freshly made iron plates. There we go. 3-sail vertical axis windmill. Love to see it. Okay, great. And then the last thing that's remaining here, actually, we do need that chisel, don't we? Let's grab that back up. Chisel. Oh, we can't do it that way. We have to do it this way. Let's grab our chisel back up. There we go. And now we're going to need that along with, let's see here, we're going to need some sticks. Sticks, grab that. And then we're going to need an axle as well. Grab that. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to put our linen here and here. We are going to put our sticks here, here, and here. That will give us 4 of our wide sails. Great. And then our wide sails we put together with that axle. And more sticks. Looks like more sticks. I should have not spoken so soon. There we go. We need more than that. There we go. Sticks will go here. We will put our hammer here, our chisel there. That will make us our sail assembly. All right, so I think we are going to start with the windmill sail closest to our building, just to make this go a little easier. Let's grab up that block, and we're going to use that as a positioning block. We'll put that there. We will put a high performance generator right on the edge of this. There we go. That gives us our generator. Our generator, now what we have to do is throw our rotor on top of that, and then our sail assembly will go on top of the rotor. Perfect. All right, so that will immediately start turning for us, and we can start using this. Now, the only thing that has caught us up here is that I did put this backwards. Let's fix that real quick. All right, so one gotcha here is that I need to have the side of this that is conductive, in this case, the base, attached to something that will also be conductive. So I've made up a couple of iron blocks here, and we'll put another one there. This way we can actually wire these up with our 128 volt cables. So if I put this here, 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 and here, this is now supposed to have power coming out of there. All right, we rebuilt this, and this is now working properly. So we're getting power out of that. And if we look at this, this should be getting some power of some sort. It looks like it is. And then this generator here, is this doing something? Yeah, that's doing something. Slowly but surely, we're getting power out of that. Okay, great. So now all we need to do is connect our power, over here onto this side of things. Let's put some ladders over here that we can get to. There we go. Maybe a few more ladders here. Okay, so in this space is where we have a whole bunch of snow, but also where we are going to put our batteries so that we can store some of this lovely power. All right, so let's grab up our 128 volt battery. I think it'll fit under this roof. There it will. It's clipping through a little, but I'm not worried about that. We will need to connect up our power to it. There we go. Okay, so I added another iron block into the ceiling, and that should start relaying our power now. If we connect this up, just like this, that's not how we want it. We want these to go straight down the middle like this until we get to here. This is actually the midpoint of the downstairs as well. So now we can put our cables like this, and we should be able to put our lamps to that. So let's do this. That should work. And there we go. Now it is lighting up the place. All right, so we've got all of those in place, and now this place is lit up very, very nicely. 4 lights in here is actually more than enough. I can probably get away with way fewer lights than this, but we still have to run them way all over the rest of our base to make sure that we've got enough light everywhere. And that means running things through walls. Basically, all of the wiring you would do in a proper house, we're going to have to do in this space. That means we're going to need a lot more copper cables. So I'm going to start mass manufacturing that so that we can keep up with our needs here. So there's one other little project I wanted to do to be able to decorate up our space here a little bit, and that is I want to make some of these luminescent Jonas lamps. I think they'll look really, really cool, and we do have access to those because now we have blueprints. So we have the Jonas lamp blueprint. This is because I'm using the recipe that I've created custom to be able to transform every single blueprint into another blueprint. You can grab that from the downloads in the link below. And we are going to need a couple of other things to make this. We are going to need some nails and strips, and I think we need at least tin bronze in both cases. Now, I thought I had a press in here that allowed me to make more tin bronze nails and strips. Do we have a nails and strips mold of some sort? Yeah, we do. So we can use our metal press to make nails and strips. Let's go back here and see if we have another tin bronze ingot. That would be wonderful. I thought we made up a bunch of tin bronze. Yeah, we did. We did last episode, or earlier this episode. It was a while ago. I don't remember exactly when in real lifetime it was, but it feels like it was a while ago. Let's get this heated up real quick. There we go. That's a temperature. Throw this in here now. We're going to grab the metal press, and this is where we replace out the mold. We can do many things with these lovely molds. Turn this back on. Turn this back on, and now we can put this in here. Why is that not working? Use any metal press to make nails and strips. That should work because this is a steel mold. Don't know why this is not working. It might be that we need more of these. We need more actual ingots. Let's see if that is the case. We'll grab that one that's heated up. Now I see the problem. We have to start with plates. So let's go ahead and put our plate mold in first. This will craft a couple of tin bronze plates for us. When those come out the other end, then we can use the nails and strips. And that seems to be indicative of a lot of the recipes in here. The gear was the same way. We had to first make plates out of it. It's fine. I don't love it because I forget it every time, but it's easy enough. And it looks like 2 plates will make us 3 nails and strips each, which I think will be plenty for our purposes. Let's just remember to swap back out our molds so we don't have an accident later on. All right, so let's get together the last couple of things that we need here. We are gonna have to cut up some of our glass, and I'm gonna have to remember how to cut up our glass. How do we make these? Let's see here. I thought it was with the saw. Oh, of course. It's always backwards from what I expect. All right, so we're gonna do this. We have 16 of our temporal gears on us, but we have like, I don't know, 100 and something back at our main area, so where we're doing all of our storage. So we'll do that. Actually, you know what we need here? We do need twice as many, right? So let's grab our glass again. There we go. We need twice as many because of that exact reason. It's 2 to 1 here. So let's just get another 16. Perfect. Okay, so we're done with that. Now all we need to do is we do need metal scraps, and I'm pretty sure we have metal scrap here. Yeah, we have so much metal scrap. Okay, metal scrap there. This is telling me we need more nails and strips. We need our temporal gears, and we need to put the metalworkers blueprint there. All right, great. So yeah, that's gonna be the bottleneck here. Let me go make up a bunch more of our nails and strips, and we can finish this out real quick. All right, there we go. That is a lot more of these Jonas lamps. There's 16. I hope I like these because otherwise we've made way too many and I'm going to be stuck with them forever. That's fine. All right, let's see here. Let's put this away. Let's clean up our inventory and head back. Okay, so now we have our Jonas lamps. Oh, and even by selecting them, they glow ridiculously brightly. If I put these here, oh yeah, that's starting to look real sharp. Okay, let's put a couple here. There we go. These are just floating in space right now, and we need a better way of supporting those. Let's just start maybe with some slabs, and we can get fancier with it as we go, but for right now, these should be more than enough. I think we just want something so that these look like they're sitting on like some sort of a rail or something. Let's put these right here, and right here, right here, and right here. Oh, that's not right. Here. Perfect. Okay, and let's chisel those just a little bit. Yeah. That'll do. Something that's just like a little edge that these are sitting out on like that, and then we'll just knock a little bit more off of this. There, that's a nice little decorative looking hanger for it, and I think we can just like maybe just round it out just a little bit here, just to make it look a little bit fancier there. And this is only 1 block wide for this section, but I think it'll work fine. Perfect. And now we have some very nice displays for our lanterns. I might even put a top piece on these too, so maybe they look like they're hanging instead of sitting on that edge, but I think this will work very, very well for us. I like the look of that. And of course, it glows very, very nicely. If we wanted to, I'm guessing we could even put one, yeah, right there, and make this kind of light up even a little bit more. Yeah, that's starting to look real nice. I like that. But for now, that brings us to the end of this episode. Next episode, we will get a little bit further here on our library with any luck and start getting the rest of this set up. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of this space because we have a lot of empty space that we need to fill. So, for now, thanks again for watching. We'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends!